Caitlin, it's fascinating to see how it must have felt in the room versus seeing it on television. It was interesting to see that split screen of President Trump sort of trying to say things that maybe a regular leader other leader might laugh at or smile at, and Vladimir Putin was just dead-eyed looking at him, not responding in any way.
Donald Trump walks into Helsinki hoping for a breakthrough with Vladimir Putin and walks out looking tired, empty-handed, and overshadowed. The world's watching, so who really won here? Let's break it down.
I think Trump did not lose, but Putin clearly won. Trump didn't come away with anything except more meetings. Putin has, I think, gone a long way to reestablishing the relationship, which I've always believed was his key goal. He has escaped sanctions. He's not facing a ceasefire. The next meeting is not set. Zelensky was not told any of this before this press conference. It's far from over, but I'd say Putin achieved most of what he wanted. Trump achieved very little. And I will say one other thing. I thought Trump looked very tired up there. I mean, very tired. Not disappointed, tired.
Did you catch that? Even Trump's own national security advisor, John Bolton, admits it. Putin walked away with everything he wanted. No sanctions, no ceasefire. Just more time, more leverage, and more control over the narrative.
Vladimir Putin said, I believe, we've turned the page, not referring to Ukraine, but more to, do you know what it referred to, or what was your sense?
I think he meant the U.S.-Russia relationship, but what he really means is the Vlad-Donald relationship.
That's what makes this so extraordinary, though. He said we've turned the page back to cooperation. He mentioned he was hopeful there would be space cooperation between the United States and Russia. He mentioned maybe in the Arctic there would be cooperation. He said, yes, Ukraine deserves security guarantees, but we know what Putin believes, how he would secure Ukraine. He has a very difference of opinion. And he talked about how they have such a fantastic relationship and turn the page.
Think about that. Putin basically used the stage to brag about his fantastic relationship with Trump, while Ukraine was left completely in the dark. No demands to end the war, no pressure, nothing. Just a photo op.
Yeah, it's getting wall-to-wall coverage, Anderson, here in Russia. And as you can imagine, the Russian state media are pretty happy with the outcome so far. One of the things that's getting played again and again and again is President Trump saying that there could be a follow-up summit, and President Putin then saying next time in Moscow. That certainly is something that the Russian press is sort of zeroing in on, generally saying that they believe that the meeting went very well for Vladimir Putin, obviously outlining the fact that Vladimir Putin does not appear to have made substantial concessions to the U.S. president, certainly not towards any sort of ceasefire that might be imminent. The fact that the Russian president spoke about the root causes of the conflict and that those need to be addressed, Russia's security concerns as well, that's the exact same rhetoric that we've actually been hearing from Vladimir Putin since the beginning of the full-on invasion of Ukraine. And looking at how this evening unfolded, certainly if you see some of the Russian officials that we've sort of been monitoring, Anderson, that have been talking about this, like, for instance, the spokeswoman for the Russian Foreign Ministry, she said, look, people have been saying for the last 3 years that Russia is completely isolated, and now they're seeing President Trump roll out the red carpet for the Russian president on U.S. territory, then saying that the U.S. media was going crazy about all this. So certainly the Russians right now treating this as a positive outcome for Vladimir Putin. It was quite interesting to hear because the Russian media actually did speak to some Russian officials that then came out of those meetings, and the Russian ambassador to the United States talked about a very positive atmosphere. The Russian defense minister said that he was very upbeat after hearing about the meeting.
So while Americans are left scratching their heads, Russia is celebrating. State TV calls it a triumph. Putin gets his red carpet moment, while Trump gets headlines about being exhausted and confused.
I think, Abby, the answer to your question is there is no White House decision-making process.
Right, it's just whatever they want to do.
It's hard under Trump under the best of circumstances. I can attest to that. And I think today it broke down completely. I think...
when you say there's no White House decision-making process, you mean it's whatever President Trump is thinking in that moment?
Yes, and then people say, yes, sir. And that's how it happens.
And that's the real story here. No strategy, no long-term planning, just Trump in the moment and Putin playing him like a chess master. One leader left Helsinki with power, leverage, and momentum. The other left with nothing but fatigue. Let me ask you, did Trump get outplayed here? Or do you think there's more to the story? Drop your thoughts below. And don't forget to subscribe for more breakdowns.